What if no one is coming to save you? And that's exactly what you need. That's not a threat, that's a wake-up call. The ancient Stoics believed your peace, your strength, and your freedom come not from others, but from radical self-responsibility. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire consumed by war, betrayal, and plague. Yet through it all he wrote to himself, not as a ruler, but as a man in search of clarity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But what does that mean for you right now? It means this: if you want to fix your life, you must first fix your mind. And to do that, you need something more than feel-good quotes. You need rules, brutal ones, principles so clear, so demanding, that they destroy your excuses and force you to rise. In this video, you're going to learn 8 brutal Stoic rules to fixing yourself. These aren't soft, they won't make you feel good right away, but they will rebuild you from the inside out. They come from Epictetus, who wrote while enslaved, from Seneca, who wrote facing death, and from Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the most powerful empire on earth while losing almost everything. These men didn't just survive, they became unbreakable. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with 8 timeless tools to become calmer, stronger, and more disciplined in a world addicted to comfort and chaos. And listen, stay until the end, because rule number 1 is the hardest to accept. But once you do, it will shatter your limitations. And now, before we dive in, here's your challenge. If you're ready to stop blaming and start building, drop this in the comments right now. Discipline over everything. Let's see who's actually serious about mastering their mind. Because this isn't just another motivational video, and this is where your excuses come to die. Now, let's begin. Number 8. No one is coming to save you. While you breathe, you still have power over yourself, wrote Epictetus, a man born into slavery who never allowed his mind to be chained. In ancient Rome, being a slave meant being invisible, no rights, no future, no voice. And yet from within that silence, Epictetus forged one of the most powerful truths of Stoic philosophy. You must stop waiting. No mentor, no partner, no savior is coming. The world does not owe you rescue. And strangely enough, that's exactly what makes you free. Imagine this in modern terms. You're overwhelmed, burnt out, looking around for a solution, a hand, a fix. But no one comes. The messages go unanswered. The world moves on. That moment isn't punishment. It's revelation. It's the mirror that shows you who you really are when the noise fades, and who you decide to become when there's no applause, no encouragement, no backup. Today, more than ever, people expect external solutions to internal chaos. Therapy, support groups, inspirational posts. But what happens when all of that falls away? What happens when the only person left is you? You act, you rise. You take responsibility not because it's easy, but because it's the only path that leads to freedom. Epictetus taught that freedom begins the moment you stop expecting life to rescue you. That's the foundation of Stoic power. So write this down in your mind. No one is coming. And that's your greatest opportunity. When you accept that, you become unshakable. You become what the Stoics called sovereign, governed not by chance, but by choice. But what Marcus Aurelius discovered in number 7 is even more disturbing and far more necessary. Number 7, control the inner battlefield. First, Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, ruled at a time of immense turbulence. He commanded vast armies, endured betrayal at the hands of allies, and led his people through plague and uncertainty. Yet in the silence of his private reflections, he did not write about politics, military strategy, or power. He wrote about himself, about the discipline of the mind. You must build up your life action by action, he said, and be content if each one achieves its goal as far as possible. For Marcus, the true battlefield was never on the frontier. It was not in the Senate. It was within, and he knew that if he failed to win there, every other victory would be hollow. Imagine this in your own life. You wake up to bad news, to tasks that feel endless, to people who disappoint you, to the crushing weight of responsibility that you never asked for but cannot escape. That is the external world. It has always been chaotic and always will be. You cannot bend it entirely to your will. But there is one fortress that no one else can invade unless you open the gates yourself, your mind. That is the battlefield that matters most. If your thoughts are scattered, undisciplined, reactive, if fear and anger dictate your choices, then it doesn't matter how much you achieve, how much wealth you gather, how much praise you receive. You remain a slave to yourself. This truth is even sharper today. Consider the person who is torn apart by online criticism, collapsing under the weight of strangers' words, or the business leader whose years of work crumble in a single night because of forces beyond their control. The difference is never in what happens. It is always in how they respond. The Stoic refuses to surrender their mind to chaos. They do not try to control the uncontrollable. They do not waste their strength on what belongs to fortune. Instead, they master the one thing that always belongs to them, their interpretation, their response, their posture. That is the line between being ruled by emotion and being ruled by principle. So remember this: you do not win life by conquering others, by bending the world to your desires, by silencing every storm. You win life by conquering yourself. The world outside will never stop raging. Storms will rise, betrayals will come, losses will strike. But if your mind is trained, if your inner fortress holds, no wave can break you. You stand like a lighthouse in violent waters, unshaken, immovable, a beacon of stability amid chaos. That is survival. That is freedom. And that is why number 7 is not optional. It is survival. Control the war inside, or the world outside will control you. But prepare yourself, because Seneca's warning in number 6 will strike deeper. It will force you to question every comfort you have ever trusted, and to see whether those comforts have made you free or quietly made you weak. Number 6. Comfort is the silent killer. Seneca, one of the richest men in Rome, sat at the heart of power. He had wealth, estates, servants, influence, everything the world says you need to be happy. And yet, he warned more urgently than anyone about the hidden danger of comfort. He wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." Those words cut to the core of human weakness, that our fears, our anxieties, our suffering are magnified not by reality itself, but by our softness toward it. Comfort lulls us into fragility, and fragility multiplies pain. This is why Seneca trained himself against ease. He practiced discomfort on purpose. He would lie on the floor instead of his fine bed, wear rough clothing instead of silk, eat coarse bread and cheap food instead of delicacies. He had wealth to live in indulgence, yet he deliberately chose to feel lack. Why? Because he knew what others deny. Comfort breeds dependence, and dependence breeds fear. If your peace depends on hot meals, perfect weather, soft beds, constant praise, or unbroken routines, then you have chained yourself to conditions that the world does not guarantee. And a chain is a chain, no matter how golden. Now look at the modern world. Everywhere, life is built around comfort. One tap delivers food. One click delivers entertainment. One swipe delivers distraction. At first, this seems like progress. But comfort has a hidden poison, because when ease becomes expectation, discomfort becomes unbearable. The simplest adversity, hunger, effort, rejection, silence, feels like an attack. People break not because life is harsher now, but because they have never been hardened. They suffer more in imagination than in reality, because their imagination has never tasted discipline. Imagine a person who always avoids discomfort. They always choose the easy road, the softer option, the path of least resistance. They avoid confrontation because it is unpleasant. They avoid solitude because it is unsettling. They avoid discipline because it demands effort. And so when life finally strikes, as it always will, they shatter instantly. Illness, loss, betrayal, failure, all of it crushes them. Not because the storm was too strong, but because their foundation was weak. They have never trained their spirit to stand. They built their life like a house of glass, and when the stone came, it exploded. The Stoic chooses differently. To the Stoic, hardship is not a curse. It is the forge. Cold sharpens endurance. Hunger teaches discipline. Rejection toughens resolve. Solitude builds self-reliance. The Stoic seeks these not out of masochism, but out of strength, because the one who can embrace discomfort has nothing left to fear. He is free where others are enslaved. Seneca lived among riches, but refused to let riches own him. His practice of discomfort was a daily reminder, I do not need these things. I am strong without them. So remember this, comfort is pleasant, but it is not strength. Comfort feels safe, but it leaves you unprepared. Comfort makes life smoother, but it makes you weaker until life asks of you something greater and you have nothing left to give. Comfort feels good until it costs you your resilience. And once resilience is gone, nothing external can replace it, which is why number 6 is not simply advice, it is warning. If you worship comfort, you will lose the strength to live. But if you train for discomfort, nothing the world throws at you can break you. And yet, what comes next in number 5, revealed by Epictetus, will not only challenge your comforts, it will tear apart your excuses. It will show you that your limitations are not given by fate, but chosen by you. And if you wish to walk free, those excuses must die. Number 5, your excuses are your chains. Epictetus, born into slavery, knew the psychology of limitation more intimately than anyone else. He lived without rights, without freedom, without control over the details of his life. And yet, out of that darkness came a sentence so sharp it cuts through centuries. It's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. One line, and every excuse you've ever repeated to yourself collapses. Because if suffering is not dictated by circumstance, but by interpretation, then your pain is not simply inflicted, it is sustained by you. That makes it not just your burden, but your responsibility. In ancient Rome, Epictetus had every reason to surrender to despair. He could have pointed to his chains and said, "This is why I cannot." He could have blamed his masters, his station, his lack of freedom, but he refused. Instead, he declared, "I can, because I govern my own will." He turned the very thing meant to degrade him, the condition of slavery, into proof that no one can enslave the human mind without consent. Where others saw chains, he saw an opportunity to prove the indestructibility of inner freedom. And in doing so, he turned limitation into liberation. Today, excuses wear modern clothes. They sound familiar, even reasonable. I'm too tired. I wasn't given the opportunity. No one understands me. But beneath the surface, the Stoic hears the truth. Every excuse is just another link in a chain you forge yourself. The more you repeat them, the heavier they grow, until you are shackled not by circumstances, but by your own words. The person who tells themselves, "I can't," doesn't realize what they're doing. They are surrendering their agency, little by little, until they've given away the only freedom that ever truly mattered, the freedom to act. Think of someone who blames everyone and everything around them. The bad boss, the bad luck, the bad timing. Their life does not change, not because they are incapable, but because they have chosen to live as victims. Victims of circumstance, victims of other people, victims of themselves. And once you accept the identity of victimhood, you no longer try to change. You wait for someone else to rescue you. The Stoic refuses this poison. He may be beaten, dismissed, abandoned, misunderstood, but he will not excuse. He adapts, he endures, he builds. That is why he is unbreakable. Here is the truth, stripped bare. Your limitations are not imposed. They are chosen. They live as long as your excuses live. Break the excuses and the chains fall away. Keep the excuses and you will carry them forever. No one else is holding you back, only you. Say it until it burns through the lies. My excuses are my chains, and if I want to be free, I must break them. But be warned, because number 4 is not gentle. It is not forgiving. It is the rule that tears through the last refuge of pride. It will demand that you look at yourself with ruthless honesty, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Number 4, you are not special. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the greatest empire of his age, a man who commanded armies and influenced the lives of millions, sat alone with pen in hand and wrote to himself, "Soon you will have forgotten all things, and all things will have forgotten you." It is a staggering thought when you realize who wrote it. A ruler of immense power, a man who could have convinced himself that he mattered more than anyone else, deliberately reminded himself of his smallness. Why? Because ego clouds judgment. Ego blinds us to reality. The moment you start believing you are above others, that you are extraordinary, you stop growing. You stop learning. You stop seeing the truth as it is. And that is the beginning of decline. The Stoics never glorified the idea of being special. They did not praise uniqueness for its own sake. They honored universality. You are one among billions. You hunger as others hunger. You fear as others fear. You love, you lose, you suffer, you die, just like every human who has ever walked this earth. Your problems are not cosmic curses reserved only for you. They are human problems, shared across centuries. Believing otherwise is the beginning of entitlement, self-pity, and emotional fragility. The person who insists that their pain is different, their struggle is unique, their obstacles are unfair, is the person who makes themselves weak. And yet today, the message of our age is the exact opposite. We are told constantly, "You're amazing just as you are." But that message doesn't strengthen you. It sedates you. It makes you soft. Imagine a person who has been taught from birth that they are special, above criticism, beyond failure. They believe the universe owes them understanding, comfort, success. Then reality strikes. They lose. They are rejected. They fail. And what happens? They collapse. They shatter into pieces because they built their sense of worth on a pedestal of illusions rather than on the solid ground of discipline and resilience. The Stoic approach tears down that pedestal. It reminds you that you are not owed success. You are not owed comfort. You are not owed praise, nor are you owed recognition. Life is not a contract in which the world must treat you gently. What you do owe, what you owe to yourself, is effort, responsibility, and humility. The discipline to act, the courage to face what is difficult, the clarity to accept what you cannot change. That is the foundation of strength, not the empty reassurance of being special. You are not special, and that is the most liberating truth you can accept. Because if you are not special, then your pain is not a curse, it is a part of being human. If you are not special, then your flaws are not eternal marks. They are changeable, improvable, temporary. If you are not special, then your failures are not destiny. They are lessons, the same kind that countless others before you have endured and overcome. To be not special is to be free. Free to fall, free to rise again, free to live without the crushing weight of imagined uniqueness. Repeat this to yourself until it becomes unshakable. I am not special. I am responsible. Responsibility is the antidote to ego. It shifts the focus away from what you think you deserve and toward what you must do. And yet, if you truly take these words seriously, prepare yourself Because the next lesson, number 3, will cut deeper. It will demand that you confront the habits, excuses, and weaknesses you have tolerated within yourself for too long. And then it will demand something even harder, that you let them die. Number 3, kill what makes you weak. Seneca once wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that they are difficult." Behind that sentence is a brutal Stoic truth. The problem isn't out there, it's inside you. And if you want to grow, you have to destroy the parts of you that keep you small. The Stoics were not sentimental. They didn't nurture weakness. They cut it out. Pride, laziness, addiction, self-pity, whatever held them back, they faced it without mercy, because to carry dead weight inside yourself is to walk into battle already defeated. Imagine someone who wants discipline but keeps making room for distractions. Who wants peace but feeds their anxiety with every scroll, every complaint, every excuse. That person isn't failing because of the world. They're failing because they refuse to kill the habits and thoughts that weaken them. The modern world says, be kind to yourself. The Stoic says, be honest with yourself. And if honesty reveals behaviors that make you soft, dependent, reactive, you must let them die, not later. Now. Killing what makes you weak doesn't mean becoming harsh or cruel. It means refusing to let your lower self run your life. It means sacrificing comfort for growth. It means looking in the mirror and saying, this part of me is not serving who I want to become. And then acting on it. Repeat this to yourself. If it weakens me, it has no place in me. But what comes in number 2 strikes even deeper. It's the rule that reveals why most people never find peace, because they're searching for it in the wrong place. Number 2, stop chasing peace outside yourself. Marcus Aurelius, in the midst of wars, conspiracies, and political betrayals, wrote something that sounds less like the voice of an emperor and more like the wisdom of a monk. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. He commanded armies, he decided the fate of nations, and yet he knew that the fiercest and most important battlefield was not the one soaked in blood and steel, it was the battlefield within the mind. What set him apart from so many rulers was the realization that to conquer others means little if one has not first conquered oneself. This is the essence of Stoicism, the reminder that the greatest empire you can rule is your own spirit. This is the Stoic paradox. The more you chase peace in the external world, the faster it slips away. We imagine peace will come with vacations, relationships, wealth, achievements. And for a moment, perhaps, it does. But these things rise and fall like tides. They are subject to fortune, and fortune is fickle. If your calm depends on them, then your calm is not real. It is borrowed, fragile, and ready to collapse with the next storm. The Stoic knew this truth well, that peace is not something you stumble upon in the outside world, but something you must forge within. Picture a person running from noise, closing apps, avoiding people, moving from city to city. But what they do not see is that the noise is not out there, it lives inside them, and so, no matter where they go, they carry the storm along. The chaos follows them not because the world is loud, but because they never learned to silence themselves. The stillness they are searching for cannot be purchased, cannot be relocated into. It must be built from within. And until they face this fact, every escape will only take them further into restlessness. That is why Stoicism insists that peace is not passive. It is not something you find. It is something you build. You build it by mastering your reactions, by choosing not to be enslaved by impulses, by learning to quiet the endless inner dialogue that whispers, "I'll feel better when..." The Stoic answers differently. Feel better now. Because your soul is yours to govern, and you already possess what you seek. Peace, then, is not an accident of circumstance. It is the result of discipline, attention, and sovereignty over one's own mind. You cannot control the chaos that swirls outside you. You cannot prevent betrayal, misfortune, or the cruelty of chance. But you can decide whether those forces will enter your mind. You can choose whether they shape your mood, steal your day, or dictate your life. This is where true freedom begins, not in controlling events, but in refusing to let events control you. So repeat this until it becomes your shield. I will not seek peace in places I cannot control. Etch it into your mind as armor. Because now comes the hardest truth of all, the first rule that most people spend their lives avoiding, but the one that alone can set you free. Peace will never be given to you by the world. You must give it to yourself. Number 1. You are responsible for everything. Epictetus didn't sugarcoat anything. He said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why? Because taking full responsibility often looks insane to those who prefer blame. But the Stoic knows, until you take responsibility for everything in your life, even what isn't your fault, you will never be free. This rule doesn't mean self-blame. It means ownership, total ownership. Bad childhood? It's still your responsibility to heal. Toxic environment? It's still your responsibility to choose how you respond. Life isn't fair, and Stoicism accepts that without complaint, but it also teaches this. Fairness is irrelevant. Power lies in action. Imagine someone who refuses to play the victim. Their parents failed them, their job failed them, their partner betrayed them, and still they rise. Not because it was easy, but because they made a decision. This is mine to face. The world tells you that you're broken and someone else must fix you. Stoicism says, you may be broken, but it's your duty to rebuild. No one else can, no one else should, because the person who rebuilds you becomes unbreakable. This is the most brutal rule. It ends every excuse, it silences every complaint, and it leaves you with one option: rise or remain. So say this out loud. I am responsible for everything. That is my power. And if you've made it this far, then you're not just watching, you're transforming. But now it's time to go deeper, because what we covered today is only the beginning. You made it. And that alone says something powerful about you. Most people click away when things get uncomfortable, when truth demands reflection. But not you. You're still here. Which means you're ready. You're ready to stop surviving and start living with strength, with discipline, with clarity. Let's go back, just for a moment. We walked through 8 brutal Stoic rules, and each one struck at something soft inside of you, not to hurt you, but to harden what must become unbreakable. Number 8 reminded you that no one is coming to save you. Number 7 taught you to master your inner battlefield before you try to win the outer world. Number 6 exposed that comfort is killing you slowly. Number 5 shattered your excuses by revealing them as the chains you chose to wear. Number 4 stripped your ego down with the truth that you are not special. Number 3 forced you to kill what makes you weak. Number 2 taught you that peace is never out there, it must be built within. And number 1 gave you the most powerful weapon of all, radical responsibility for everything in your life. 8 rules, 8 truths, 1 purpose. Fix your mind, fix your life. Now comes your challenge. This week I want you to choose just one of these rules and live by it. Fully, no shortcuts, no justifications, whether it's rejecting excuses, embracing discomfort, or owning your inner chaos. Choose one and commit to it for the next 7 days, and don't keep it to yourself. Declare it. Share it in the comments. This week, I live by rule number Q. Tell the world, and more importantly, tell yourself. And now I ask you, which of these Stoic teachings would you apply right now in your life? The one that hits hardest is probably the one you need most. And if you've made it to this moment, if you've stayed through the fire, here's your final action. Comment this below. I choose strength. That phrase means more than you think. It means no more waiting, no more blaming, no more wishing. It means becoming the kind of person the world can't break. And you didn't just watch a video, you made a decision. See you in the next one.